Hey, welcome to Tom Team's Story and Craft. This week we're going to be looking at the story of Adam and Eve and the snaky snake, and then we're going to make a class craft. We are so excited and we hope you are too. So let's get started.
Today is the story of Adam and Eve, and you can read about it in Genesis chapter 2 and 3. God took some clay from the ground and made the shape of a man. Then he breathed gently into the shape. The man's eyes opened and he began to live. God called him Adam. The Lord made a beautiful garden for him to live in. The garden, called Eden, was full of many wonderful things. Beautiful flowers grew everywhere. Birds sang in the trees, streams flowed through the valley, and animals roamed across the fields. God had made the man in his image, to keep him company and to look after the world. God brought all the animals to Adam, one at a time, to be given their names. Elephant, he would say, or tiger, or porcupine. But God felt sorry for Adam. None of these animals really like him, thought God. He needs someone to share his life, someone who cares for him and who he can care for. That night, God took a rib from Adam's side and made a woman. When Adam awoke the following morning, he found a wife, Eve, laying asleep beside him. Adam was so happy. He took her hand and she woke up. She looked at him and smiled. God told the man and woman that it was their job to take care of their new home. God blessed them, saying, "All this is for you. Help yourself to anything you like, but never touch the tree in the middle of the garden. That tree gives knowledge of good and evil. The day you eat its fruit, you will die." God did not mean that Adam and Eve would drop down dead the moment they ate the fruit from the tree. He meant that they would die because they didn't have his spirit dwelling in them. One day, Adam and Eve were gathering berries for dinner, when Eve heard a silky voice behind her. "Has God told you that you can eat the fruit from all the trees?" the voice asked softly. Eve turned around to see a snake talking to her. "God has told us that we can eat all the fruit except for what grows on the tree of knowledge of good and evil," Eve told the serpent. "Oh, come on now, that's silly. I hardly think such a lovely fruit would do you any harm," the serpent lied. "God knows that if you eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you'll become just like him, and will be able to decide for yourself what is right and what is wrong." The woman looked at the fruit and thought how tasty it looked. She thought how wonderful it would be to be as wise and powerful as God. She believed the serpent's lie and ate the fruit, and also gave some to Adam, who was with her, and he took a bite as well. As soon as they ate the fruit, a change came over Adam and Eve. They became unhappy and fearful of God because they had disobeyed God. Adam and Eve heard God calling them. Without thinking, they dived into the bushes, but God knew where they were. When God asked them if they had eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil that he had told them not to touch, they blamed each other for their sins. God was sad that Adam and Eve had disobeyed them. He told them that they had to leave the Garden of Eden. "From now on, you'll have to scratch a living from the soil. You'll need to make clothes and grow food. Nothing will be easy, and one day you will die." Now you may be thinking, that's a bit of a sad ending to the story. But the thing is, the story doesn't end there. You see, whilst Adam and Eve brought sin into the world, thousands of years later, Jesus came to take away our sin. That's what we celebrated a couple of weeks ago at Easter.
Today we are going to make a snaky snake. First, make the toilet roll colourful on the inside and outside by painting or colouring it in. Remember to let it dry if you have painted it before moving on to the next step. Then, using scissors, cut it into a spiral shape. Get your parents to help you if you need help. After cutting your snake out, put whatever pattern you want on it. Be as creative as you want. Then draw the other features of a tongue and eyes. You can use googly eyes if you have them. And there you have a sneaky snake to remind you of the story of Adam and Eve in the garden.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We'll be back here again on Sunday for even more stories and even more fun. Hope to see you then.